So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third installment of the second module of this course, in which we're discussing in general about gear. Now, in the previous lessons, again, we've discussed about smartphones, how to utilize smartphones, and what external gear you can purchase to enhance the image quality that comes out of your smartphones, as well as the audio quality. And in this lesson right here, we're going to be focusing mostly on how to create a studio, a home studio, and we're going to be doing this by analyzing my own home studio. I'm going to show you every single trick that I've implemented after years, literally years of creating like setups and home studios. I'm really into this stuff. Like I love optimizing my space and making my space as productive as possible. And yeah, in this lesson, I'm just going to show you exactly what's happening in my setup, how I've set everything up to optimize and streamline the content production process here in my studio. Because at the end of the day, the whole content creation thing, it all comes down into how fast you can get from an idea, having an idea in your mind, into actually producing a video out of it. And in my case, I'm producing so many hours of content every week that I need a streamlined content production studio. And this is exactly what we're analyzing in this lesson right here. So buckle up and let's get it. So gears and the tools, my setup. This right here is what my setup looks like. And you might recognize this microphone right here, which rests right here. Now I'm going to give you a small introduction to what you see here, and keep in mind that there's lots of stuff. You might be overwhelmed, but at the end of the day, it's not that hard to understand what's going on here. So let's address the elephant in the room. First of all, I have this huge ultra-wide monitor. It's a Samsung curved display. It's 42 or 45 inches, right? And I have this for many years. If you want to invest like in a monitor, absolutely purchase one of these monitors. It's first of all, it looks extremely cool, right? And second of all, it just helps you become more productive, especially if you also edit your videos. I absolutely love this monitor, and I 100% recommend it for beginners. Now, this right here is just a small light that I have, so it doesn't play any huge role. It's just a light when I journal, when I write things down to my notepads, and you can see my notepads right here. Above my monitor, you can see that I have my camera one, the main camera of mine, which I'm using to shoot right now. It's a Canon 5D Mark IV with a 50mm f1.8 lens. More on that later, right? You can see that I have blinds to just block any natural sunlight that comes to my setup, so I can, at any time, regardless of what time of the day it is, I can block like the natural light, so I can use only artificial light. And talking about artificial light, I have this huge diffused light right here, which also has an umbrella. This is called an umbrella, a honeycomb umbrella, and it serves the purpose of the light just hitting your face without diffusing everywhere in the space. Again, this is a huge water bottle that I have. As you can see, my setup is powered by a MacBook Pro, and I'm going to show you what happens behind my screen in just a second. I have those two monitor speakers. Those are professional monitor speakers. They're not that expensive. Actually, I think there was somewhere like $100 or something like that. Then I have this monitor, which is connected to camera one, and I can see what I'm shooting from camera one in this monitor right here, and camera two, which I use in more professional shoots, right? I have, again, my table, my desk, of course, the Magic Keyboard and the Magic Mouse. I love Apple. This is the logo of my e-learning company and my headphones. So this is what's happening in my setup. Now, in more detail, behind the screen, so right here, behind the huge screen, you can see my MacBook Pro. This is where everything is hooked up, right? It's hooked up with a 3.5mm headphone jack. This goes to the two monitors. And at this part, you can see that I have a power plug to the MacBook, and on the other USB-C port of the MacBook, I have a USB-C hub. Now, this USB-C hub gives power to this blue cable, which is connected to this thing right here. This is my external hard drive. It's an 8TB external hard drive. I store everything in this external hard drive. It's actually my most prized possession, right? I have this cable right here, which goes to this small camera. You can't see it, but it's a small webcam that I use to do my one-on-one meetings with potentially clients of mine or any Google meetings, right? And then I have an HDMI cable, which is connected to the big monitor, and another cable which is connected to a USB hub. Right here, this is the charger of camera B. Camera A is automatically always plugged in, connected to, let's say, always a continuous power source, right? And again, two of my journals. This is what's happening behind the display. This is another view of the display. You can see also the small camera that I use for my one-on-one meetings. I don't want to use like camera A. It looks, I think, too professional. I just want a more chill, relaxed camera for my meetings. Now, let's take a closer look on camera A. And this is again the Canon 5D Mark IV. Now, this is the camera that I've chosen to purchase many years ago. It's actually a model from 2016, but it still performs amazingly. I'm in love with this camera. I've been using it ever since. It is a professional camera. It's a DSLR camera, which means that it's one of those bigger models. It's not the most value for money camera. The most value for money DSLR camera that you can buy right now, it's called the Canon 200D, or if you look at it in the US, the Canon Rebel SL2, right? You can buy it with the kit lens, which is an 18 to 15.5 millimeter lens, and it will perform amazingly. That being said, this might not be the best value for money camera, but this is the best value for money lens, and it's a 50 millimeter f1.8. And pretty much f, which is the aperture of the lens, dictate how blurry your background will be. The smaller the number of the aperture of your lens, the more blurry your background will be. I want you to remember it like this. And f1.8, 1.8 reflects the number of the aperture, is actually a very small aperture number, which means that with a relatively cheap lens, you get a nice, smooth, blurry background, which is what we want in professional content, right? Now, up here, I've got a small audio interface because I have connected this microphone right here to my camera. So mic gives power to this interface. And again, the interface is connected to the camera, and then I have an HDMI cable connected to the camera, which goes to the external monitor that I have right there. These cables right here is the power source cable that I have to this camera. Again, this camera is always connected to a power source, so I don't need to change batteries every time. This is behind view of the camera. So you can see again the HDMI cable. You can see the audio interface, in which I have it in the stereo, again connected to the camera. And you probably can't see it, but there's also a small cable here which goes to the battery part of the camera. Again, another view of the camera. If I want, I can also add speakers. Headphones right here to just view how my audio sounds. The HDMI is connected here, and that's what's up with the camera. I've also dropped it once. Such a shame. It has this small thing here, small mark. Anyways, my camera is connected to this monitor right here, and this is the FeelWorld monitor. It's very cheap, very basic monitor, but I just want to have an eye on what I'm shooting, how I'm shooting it, and you can see that this camera, again, with this HDMI cable right here, is connected to this monitor right here, and this is the power source of the monitor. Very simple, very basic. You can also hook up this monitor above your camera, just view what you're shooting at all times. But in my case, I like to have it right there just for efficiency purposes. This right here is the second camera of mine, camera number 2, and this is the Canon 750D. Now, it is very similar to the Canon Rebel SL2, the 200D that I suggested. It has the exact same specs. What you pretty much care about when you're purchasing a camera is the video settings. And if you're going with Canon, you just want your camera to be able to record full HD 1080p at 60 frames per second if it's possible. That's more than enough. If you hook these cameras with a 50mm f1.8, and you can see that I also have like this 50mm f1.8 lens here, so I have two 50mm f1.8s. Both camera A and camera B of mine are shooting with a 50mm f1.8, right? And this camera just has a flip-out LCD screen, so I don't need an external monitor for this camera. I just set it in a 45-degree angle from my head, which is the principle of having two cameras. You have one camera facing you directly, facing the subject directly, and the second camera is facing the subject in a 45-degree angle. Now, again, this might sound a bit sophisticated and a bit too much if you're just wanting to shoot content with your phone. I'm just giving you all of the information that I have right now for you to have it in the back of your mind, perhaps potentially if someday you want to have a setup like mine, right? This right here is another audio interface that I use in order to power this microphone right here. This microphone is a large diaphragm microphone. It's like it belongs in a category of microphones which are called large diaphragm microphones, and they need a separate power source in order to work. Now you can see that the audio quality that comes out of this microphone is amazing. I have also processed it in post-production to make it a bit more crisp, because again, as I mentioned in earlier lessons of this course, people will stick around in a video that has amazing audio quality and bad image quality, but they will leave and they will not stick around in a video that has bad audio quality and good image quality. This right here is my audio interface. This is the cable that goes from the microphone to the audio interface. And again, the audio interface is just connected, it's plugged to a power source. And from all of these buttons right here, you can diffuse the sound, you can change the master volume, you can change the grain, all that stuff. I am not an audio expert, right? I'm actually very bad at syncing audio. I'm very bad at understanding audio. So I just know that these settings work and I utilize them to like their fullest potential in my content creation journey. Again, I'm not an audiophile. I honestly, I'm not into music that much. I just know that this works. I've searched it online and I know it works. It serves me well. This, by the way, is battery one from my 5D Mark IV, but I don't use these batteries because I have a dummy battery connected to my camera and it's always plugged in, right? This right here is, again, this microphone that you see is a Rode, again, large diaphragm microphone. It comes with this amazing stabilization arm right here, which I absolutely love. You get to manipulate the microphone, place it whenever you want. And I also have this diffuser right here, which just pretty much helps you not hear the P's. Again, if I do, you can't really hear it that much. If I remove this, you would hear it way more vibrantly. And it also looks very cool in my setup, I think. I absolutely love this microphone, and it took me so much time to, again, upgrade my microphone. I used to have another microphone. I used to have a shotgun microphone, which are these, let's say, longer microphones. They look like magic sticks. But yeah, I'm very proud of upgrading my microphone. I think it was time, especially, again, I'm creating so much content, so it's worth upgrading your microphone. Moving on, in the right side of my setup, right there, I have this huge light source. This is an expensive LED diffused video light. So I have an LED, again, light source back here. I can change the temperature, I can change the intensity. I have this honeycomb, again, setup in which it directs the light directly to my face, and we don't have light split just because, again, this honeycomb setup protects the light from diffusing. I absolutely love this light, and I have the exact same light back there, which lights up this artwork, this red artwork that I have in my background. And I also have this small whiteboard right here. I love demonstrating stuff on a whiteboard. So I have this whiteboard and I just mentioned stuff. Now, of course, having a whiteboard is not a very important content creation tool. I'm just mentioning it, right? So in my background, as you can see right here, I have these LED light sticks and I can change their color with this remote right here that I have. So I can make them, for example, yellow. What is your favorite color? I can make them yellow, I can make them blue, I can make them red, green. Green actually looks kind of cool. What's B? I don't know, white. I think it stopped working now. Okay, anyways, you get the point. I can change the color of these LED lights and it just adds layer to my background pretty much. Like that's why I use them. These lights add layer to my background. They separate me, the main subject, from the background, and I absolutely love them. They also give like a very cool look in my studio here. Finally, my desk is battery powered. It's actually plugged in the wall, so it goes up and down. So I can work if I am, again, let's say standing. I can work if I'm sitting down. I have a, let's say, preset in my desk in which everything lowers down and I get to shoot videos. And I have another preset where everything comes a bit higher up and I can edit these videos. And of course, I also have my Apple AirPods Max. I use these headphones if there's sound that I don't want to be distracted when I'm having a call, for example, or when I'm shooting content. And again, I don't want to be distracted with sound. And this was my setup. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And before we move into the next module of this course, and before we, let's say, close this chapter in which we discussed about year, I want to step on a very, very important subject of this whole course creation, of this whole content creation journey. And this is understanding lighting. And I have this lesson of understanding lights and how to light up scenes in the gear part of this course, because the biggest mistake that you can do is to start dumping money into gear and cameras and lenses and setups, all that stuff, and not understand how to manipulate light. You can save tens of thousands of dollars from expensive gear if you simply understand some basic lighting principles. So please pay attention to the next lesson of this course. It's going to be very, very valuable for your content creation journey. Right? So I'm going to see you in the next lesson of this course.